And we are live, Moose. We here, bruh.
Live and direct from the
What's
SMT
the
headquarters.
dude? What's the date today? The 13th or the 14th?
Today is June 13th.
The 13th. Okay, so tomorrow being the 14th, the start of a new week. But we got like stuff we got to discuss.
We got massive
We can't just let it.
updates.
Yeah, we can't just let it go by the wayside, dude. This is some pretty big stuff.
Oh, yeah. This is, I don't even think shocking is the right word anymore, man. This is some blasphemous stuff, like Stephen A. would say.
Let's see if we got Zero Cool in the house. Do we have Zero Cool? Maybe. No. We'll see if we can get him back. Let's say hello to some peeps, though. Let's see here. Zero Cool, we got you back. You here? There, we'll see if we can get him back in. We got Mike West is in the house. What's up, Big Mike? Appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming through. Yeah, the small cell situation. Big Barry is here. We got James in the house. Thanks for stopping by, gents. We got the homie Max Tech Studios is here. Brennan's in the house. Yeah. We got Isaiah. Who else we got here? We got Isaiah. We got a LT Dunn. T-Mobile been showing some improvements. Good to hear. Alrighty. We got Gene in the house. We got Kazi. Ron is here. MS is here. Josh says, I'm on the AirPods today, man. Sorry, bro. Mr. Sneed, the man, and know this man. What's up, William? Good to see you. Millimeter Wave on the beach in a tent. Very nice. Very nice. Tim's here.
Yep.
We got Stuggs. What up now? We got Joey. And we got Aaron. Yeah, so I'm on the iPhone right now, and I'm on the, yeah, Josh, I don't blame you for thinking it's suspect. It's definitely not the Shure SM7B. That's for sure. It's the AirPods, man. I might invest in a pair of AirPod Pros, though, Moose. You know what I'm saying? Go with something a little bit high-end.
You know, you definitely got to now with the whole spatial audio, Dolby Atmos, high resolution, lossless. You know, it's definitely, one of those things you need, man.
Yeah, it might come through for it might be the best way to go if I'm gonna be on the move live streaming and stuff, you know. Sounds good enough. All right, that's good. That's pretty cool that Josh is on the beach somewhere in, I think, Michigan or something, or New Jersey, and he's doing the millimeter wave thing on the beach, dog, in the tent.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty amazing, man. Not gonna lie.
That's pretty cool, bro. I'm all for it. All right, Moose. I think what we'll do is we'll start with the first topic, and
my God,
all right. So look, man, this problem of interference with 600 megahertz, apparently that risk has always been there. That's always been part of the problem with the particular lower band, the lower block of the band, from what I understand. Go ahead and you request to come in, Zero Cool. We'll get you back in here. Apparently it's been an issue, a risk of interference for a while. I'm guessing that the management of it has been pretty good up to this point, but I think with the move over to 5G and I think it's a situation of standalone kind of complicating matters. It's made it worse. So now the problem has become exacerbated, right? So it's always existed, it's always been there, but they've managed it, and now it's becoming more problematic. So it's not that it's a new problem. It's just that I think the magnitude of the problem is getting worse, right? So, sometimes, small problems here and there.
We got to take a step back. So can you explain what is the situation?
Okay, so the 600 megahertz it's T-Mobile's low band. It's really their coverage band. What has really changed the T-Mobile network experience nationwide has been the fact that they now have a dedicated low band channel beyond the 5 megahertz of band 12 that they had from AT&T, right? When they had the roaming agreement with AT&T from the failed merger in 2011, they were pretty much on borrowed time. They had to eventually get their own low band to cover up the country. So it's enabled them to have some semblance of a national network. Okay, so the 600 megahertz is formerly of a TV spectrum. It was decommissioned and then repacked for usage as a wireless spectrum asset for T-Mobile. Now, Dish has it too. Dish, I believe, is on the upper block, and then T-Mobile's on the lower block, okay? So the problem becomes with this lower block that T-Mobile has. Initially, it was okay. Well, once we get it cleared, now we got to build it out. And for a while, the problem was how do we get TV stations to decom it quicker? So they finally got it decommed and repacked, and it's they're broadcasting in most places. So now that part's done. But then the problem becomes that we have issues now with interference with medical equipment. So hospital systems, healthcare locations, medical offices, any place that relies on that 600 megahertz spectrum frequency. So when it's broadcasting and transmitting, connecting, it's creating interference issues. So the problem really is not new, but like I said, something must be going on with the configuration. The interference is becoming more of a large scale problem. So it's happening more frequently. We're seeing it more and more in places. And T-Mobile's got a couple of different ways they can deal with this. They've known about this problem. It's not new, Moose. Like I've said before.
Nope.
But and this becomes an issue. And are they going to band-aid it? Are they going to truly find a solution? Or are they going to try to weasel their way out of doing what they have to do? Because we've seen issues with N41, with band 41 with interference and being powered down. Now we're going to see this too. And I think it basically, if you're going to a hospital, Moose, what's going to happen to your connection if you're on band 71 once you're within about 1,000 feet of that hospital?
So let me put it into perspective here. For a period of time in 2016, there was such a phenomenon called phantom coverage, phantom service, which means that you'll see signal strength on your phone, right? The bars, but it's completely unusable, right? So it's like irrelevant. Why are you paying for a service if you can't actually use the service, right?
Right.
I have intelligence here. Spoke to my engineering buddies at T-Mobile, great friends of mine. They confirmed that Reddit post that we're talking about, that 600 megahertz is interfering with hospital equipment, has gotten to the point that T-Mobile engineers have to power down 600 megahertz, the sector, the antenna that's facing the hospital all around, right? Because it's a cluster. So all of the antennas that are facing the hospital will have to be powered down, number one. Number two, the coverage would have to be drastically reduced. So that means that they're going to be pulling wattage from the radio. Okay. And number three, this is the crazy part. If the cell site is literally right across the street from the hospital, Sneed, I can't believe I'm saying this, man.
I know.
They are down tilting the cell site to the absolute bare bone minimum, maximum down tilt. So you can only use band 71 directly in front of the cell site. Jesus Christ. I couldn't believe this, man. I was shocked when he told me this, and I said, there's no way. You're going to be creating phantom coverage again. You're going to be causing issues once again in building, in places where people desperately need to make phone calls, desperately need to have connectivity. Forget about the first responders for a second, because I would never, after this, if you are an EMT, a doctor, a nurse, I would never want any one of those people that are treating me to be on T-Mobile, because they would never be able to make a phone call inside of that building. Never. Because as you know, there's multiple layers, there's elevators, etc. All of these hard to reach areas. And by the way, most hospitals are hardened, right? To prevent from bomb attacks and other things from the outside and inside.
Yeah, structurally they're built to code. I mean, there's a lot there. Right.
So structurally they're built with multiple layers, which prevents signals coming in from the outside in. So now I ask the question, what are you going to do about this? Are you guys going to do what you guys should have been doing back in 2016, which is building DAS systems in every single major, hospital, mall, airport, right? Because again,
okay, so Moose, I think it's where we gotta reel it back. Right. Okay, so we've identified the problem. Okay, I don't I don't think the urgency is being misplaced. I think we're there. I think we're all in agreement. We know the importance of low band coverage and in hospital applications. So I'm with you. Now, if we step back and let's talk solutions, you already kind of identified one. Not really a solution, but it's the immediate response to the problem. Okay, so we know that the interference issues with this situation, the FCC is already has, you know, there's action steps that have to be taken. Okay, so the first thing that has to happen is 100% band 71 that's transmitting the 600 megahertz for T-Mobile it automatically gets powered down, right? Automatically,
Right.
that's going to happen. T-Mobile's instant, response is going to be to if you're saying that they're down tilting the sector. The other thing that comes to my mind is, shouldn't they just shut down the sector?
And that's where I asked that question already. I was like, why don't you just turn off the 600 megahertz spectrum? And I couldn't believe this, but they said they don't have the money to pay for multiple crews to go and physically disconnect that radio. And I said, wait a minute, we're in 2021.
They can't remotely just
like why
stop.
can't you remotely turn it off? He said, on some of these places we can't do it. So I said, well, it seems like you guys have a problem again.
All right, now here's the other thing, and Dave actually brings this up, and big shout out to Dave Beatz Tech, man. Thanks for the super chat, bro. One of the things I saw as a solution was filters. I know when it comes to spectrum, because the same problem that we're seeing here is the same problem that some people on satellite connections are having with C-band, as they're going to be broadcasted now with wireless spectrum for telecom. There are people that are going to be receiving and they're trying to connect the C-band frequencies with satellite still, right? So they're actually going to have to purchase filters so that they don't get interference from the broadcasting of N77 and N78. So I was thinking to myself, as Dave B mentions here, is the hospital equipment is going to require filters on the equipment. You get what I'm saying, Moose? Like, that's one part of the equation is there a possible solution? And honestly, this may come down to T-Mobile have to paying it, though. I don't think the hospital equipment is going to be cool with having to purchase additional hardware and whatever else goes into having the filters. I don't see that happening. They're going to say, well, clearly the FCC is in support of giving precedence to the equipment as opposed to T-Mobile's N71. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't think that T-Mobile is going to pay for filters, and I don't think that the hospitals are going to pay for filters. So at the end of the day, I think what the easiest route is turn off the sector, turn off the band 71. They're facing directly at the hospital. Because again, if you're right now, if the only way to prevent this, and it's not really prevent this, it's actually a mitigation tactic, because you're still going to get 600 megahertz coming in from sectors multiple miles away. You get what I'm saying, Sneedman? So
yeah,
they're down tilting, which means that the signal, instead of projecting into the air, into the horizon, it's being projected into the ground. Dude, that is stupid.
Well, I mean, why don't you just power it down at that point?
No, might as well, if it's just going to be directly in front of you, like within a couple 100 feet of the cell site, might as well turn it off. Because at that point, the only people that are going to be utilizing that spectrum are people literally right in front of the cell site or just passing by for a brief second.
Those sectors with band 71 are designed to receive signal for multiple miles.
Yes. And they can penetrate in any building, right? If the cell site is right across the street, like, for example, I know of a cell site here in Southern California, a T-Mobile cell site that just got band 41 upgrade right in front of the hospital. That band 71 site is now completely dead. You get what I'm saying? It's over, because we already knew that they were having interference issues with band 41, because in the emergency room parking lot, band 41 wasn't even broadcasting. So I was only able to get band 71. Now with this, oh man, you band 2, band 4, band 66 won't be enough to penetrate a hospital. So we, like you said earlier, what is T-Mobile going to have to do? they're going to have to put in building solutions. They
Oh,
have
yes.
to. Outdoor DAS systems, indoor DAS systems. This completely changes their strategy, because I don't think that they were thinking about putting DAS systems in every hospital. But if they're going to say that they're like the first responders network and that you're going to be getting, a free line if you switch to T-Mobile, blah, 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 as a first responder, if you don't have service in the hospital and you're an EMT, nurse, or doctor, or somebody that works in the hospital, you better run away from T-Mobile, because you're not going to be able to have any signal. And then when you're going to try to call 911 or going to try to call your family members or whatever, it's completely unusable. I've experienced this firsthand, Sneed, back in 2016, 2017, when I had T-Mobile, okay, as my main line. There was times where I couldn't even make a phone call.
Jeez. Well, my concern is that we just got word from Neville is that they're really not trying to emphasize small cells and ODAS and IDAS. He really wants to focus on a macro build. So when you hear that type of vernacular getting thrown around, and now you have this going on, you're not hopeful. I mean, how could you be optimistic that an indoor DAS system is coming to your local hospital if T-Mobile's moving away from it, if they want to be macro based?
And remember this too, Sneed Man. A DAS system takes a long time if there's not already an existing DAS system. Okay. It takes a lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. You have to pay the hospital system rent. It's obviously not free. You have to put in your own fiber. So that means more, expenses for that. Very few DAS systems T-Mobile has compared to Verizon and compared to AT&T with FirstNet.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be troublesome to a lot of users. I mean, even just the people coming in for appointments, the people that are, going into the office buildings within hospital systems, they're going to have to address it. I mean, one way or the other, so we looked at those couple of solutions. I wouldn't expect a small cell, as they don't really want to do that. The DAS systems, I mean, that's going to be time consuming too, Moose. I mean, how do you scale that? It's not really in their CapEx, you know what I mean? Do you think that they'll all of a sudden build an initiative, and allocate some spending specifically for that? I don't know if I see that happening,
Be right back 1 second. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think another thing that I was, mentioning, besides like the filter solution as being an option, and the DAS systems, to kind of deal with that, I also thought, well, what about a potential agreement between T-Mobile and Dish, right? So we know that Dish owns 600 megahertz and it's in the upper block of the 600. I mean, Dish isn't doing anything with their licenses at this time. They have successfully, you know, lent it to T-Mobile during the pandemic last year, I think, for a couple of months. I think it was like April or May, and then it extended through the summer mostly. And, if they could put together a deal there, wherever they have those troubles, they could just use those licenses on those locations in those markets to deal with these problems. But I mean, I don't know, that's costly. They probably don't want to pay their competitors. We know how Eugene is. Mike Sievert's, he's pretty much the ultimate hater. So he really doesn't want to pay the leasing costs that it would take. So yeah, Pete, I'll get you the link. Pete, 1 second. Let me do that for you. Yeah, so I thought about the potential there. Um, I really did think that would be an option, but the dynamic between T-Mobile and Dish is just not very good. I would not describe it as being a healthy relationship or a productive relationship, honestly. Personally, I don't think it is.
Can I say
I
that
don't.
again, Sneed? I just got back. Can you hear me?
I was talking about how another option for a solution would be a successful partnership in which Dish could lease T-Mobile the upper block of 600
So
in those affected areas and markets.
I asked that question to my buddy, right, the RF engineer at T-Mobile, and I was like, I was asking like so many questions. Can we put like a massive guard band? Can you lease the Dish spectrum? in order to avoid this issue. And he says there's no way around it. There's going to be interference however way you slice it.
Even in the upper block, it's still going to be a problem.
Upper block, yeah, even in the upper block.
Wow.
So it's over, man. Like accepting the fact that you're not going to be able to utilize that spectrum in a hospital, it's over.
I don't know, man. I really thought that was going to be an option, and it made sense because this frequency is just a little bit different or whatever.
Right. Wait, say that again. Which frequency is a little bit different?
The dish frequency is a little bit higher.
It's a little bit higher, yeah, but it's still not enough of a range.
Pete, I just sent that to your DM. Go ahead, bro. Get you in here. So you don't think so, huh, Moose? That's not a thing. That's not happening.
No, it's not happening.
I wish we can get Zero Cool back in here, man. He's got the link. Let's get you back in here, Zero Cool. Wait, Oh, now we got him back in, and we got Pete. Nice. Okay, I think I got the giants in there. Ahoy, Pete.
What's up, Pete?
Good to see you, Pete, man. Good to see you.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, good to go.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
that's the best we're looking at.
Yeah. Back to what Moose was saying a little earlier. Yeah, the mitigation solutions are, reduce your transmit power at the radio and down tilt your antenna. And the problem with doing that is it decreases your footprint by 2 times, right? So not only are you decreasing your power for a connection, you're also decreasing the range as well, right? So, the solution, the problem with the filters is that the different medical equipment, you require different filters. Each medical equipment would require different filter. But I think what I'd probably recommend if I had a hospital is just you turn down 600 megahertz and you put up 700 megahertz instead. Change the azimuth to a 6-degree variance with 65-degree beamwidth antennas, and there you go. It's problem solved.
So Zero Cool, do you think the 5 megahertz of band 12 is going to get the job done?
Ever.
It will for
call and text.
It will for call and text.
Dude, back up the truck. 5 megahertz of band 12. I drop voice over LTE calls.
Oh,
that thing needs to be repealed and replaced.
It might get the medical equipment working. I'm not sure how much bandwidth their medical equipment would use, but I would have to assume that what you can do, it would be nice if they could actually do network slicing for that, but or some type of a preferred PRL. They could do like a preferred PRL just for that band, just for the hospital. That's how we do it.
Network slicing over that coming soon in 2022.
Big time.
Shush, Pete. No.
Yeah.
No, actually, that's my next project to write on. But with medical equipment, they're only allowed to radiate out on a certain frequency so far to keep from interfering with each other and to keep people outside of the hospital from being able to pick up vital signs.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to ask you, Pete, is how widespread is this problem going to be, and how much attention is it going to get?
Too damn widespread, not damn enough. So if you looked at the higher gigahertz range for purchases in millimeter wave, it appears that Dish and T-Mobile, or not Dish, Sprint and T-Mobile got about somewhere between 30 and 60 megahertz of that in most markets.
Yeah.
I think the real solution is near hospitals throwing up those millimeter waves and taking down the 71.
You really want them to do millimeter wave near a hospital?
What would millimeter wave do in a hospital? Nothing.
Well, Well, it's the issue is not outside the hospital, Pete. It's getting signal into the hospital.
Yeah.
So we're talking about like you're on the.
Going back to what you were saying about paying the hospital to pop up nodes. Yeah.
You know, that's why I was thinking about the DAS systems. You get a more, I don't know, you get a more like custom design for the networking in there.
That would,
you know,
that would work, but you have to be
Yeah.
over 700. So it'd have to be 700. See, I used to do IDAS systems, IDAS repeater systems. And what you would do is you have a downlink frequency and your uplink frequency, right? Going back and forth between a DAS system and like a hub site, right? Like a microwave hub site. So basically, what the hospitals would have to do and what T-Mobile would have to do is you would stick an IDAS system on 700 megahertz and put a band 12 antenna up with the azimuth on that tower. You know, make sure the beamwidth is set good at 65 degrees, and that's all they need to do. Now, I realize that band 12 is not available everywhere. But for in a large majority of those hospitals, I bet you band 12 is available.
And I do think
the problem is the cost. They're talking about how T-Mobile doesn't want to spend. They're moving away from small cells and DAS systems. So how are we concerned, or how are we convinced or confident they're going to want to do a DAS system, bro?
I would have the hospital. I don't know. They'd have to come up to some agreement, half and half. I don't know, but that's
right.
I do think the FCC should put a little bit of resources toward a solution, since they sold the spectrum to be used for cellular, and they approved it being used in medical equipment.
Right.
It was a mistake done under Wheeler and Ajit Pai, and they need to own up to it.
Trash, bro.
There is 3 megahertz and between hospital equipment at 614 meg and T spectrum at 16 megahertz.
Hey, Dave, can we get you to pop back out and pop back in? We got a bit of an echo. Just exit and then come back in.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Not coming from me. My headset is my sound.
And Pete's absolutely correct. This is a widespread issue. Not enough people know about it. Not enough people care about it. But it's a real problem.
Well, I know Pete, the way Pete thinks. You know, he's not going to compromise hospital care and stuff. I know he's a no nonsense kind of guy when it comes to that stuff.
Hey, I'm also writing something for fully secure network slices that doesn't compromise cost.
All right,
you're absolutely right.
In the house.
I feel like
let's see.
Pete's absolutely right. You don't compromise what's already working for the hospitals.
There we go.
The carrier has to work around the hospital.
Because life takes priority.
Correct.
I mean, it's not like you need the cell phone to dial 911 when you're in a hospital.
Right.
Okay, still echoing or no?
No, you're good.
Okay, so as I was trying to say before, a 3 megahertz band between this equipment.
You guys getting that echo again?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Dave, if you got headphones, bro, just put them on. If you got a
or mute the screen in the stream in the background.
See, I'm wearing headphones and I don't have the stream on at all.
Maybe it's the browser. Try a different browser.
I could try different sounds. Maybe that one's work.
All right, pop back in, see if we can get rid of that echo. We'll get
Could be the headphones.
He got that 600 megahertz interference going.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but headphones don't do that. Bluetooth is what's that like?
2.4. Yeah.
The low side of the 2.4, so you're looking at 2.3-ish.
2.3-ish. Pete, it's good to have you on, man. It's been a while, bro. How are things going?
It's hot, and I'm writing my master's thesis.
Busy, man.
I'm also back to working 45-hour weeks.
So what were you doing while you were collecting those stimulus checks, man? Were you spending money at the club? What were you up to, man? Popping bottles? What were you doing?
Putting them in my savings and working 60 hours a week.
See, I was working more during the entire first year. Since the whole pandemic thing started. I took advantage of the opportunity, man. Get it while the getting's good.
Hey, my baseline work stayed the same, and other opportunities went up, and I was doing master's coursework. So,
All right, we got Dave back in here.
Okay, yes, no, maybe so. What?
better.
You're a little low, but we don't get the echo. No, we got the echo.
Still echo?
Yeah.
What the hell? Okay.
I heard
Sorry,
echo
echo
from me.
Now we're all echoing.
All
Get
right,
out of here, dude.
leaving.
Bro, I'd really like to get Dave in here. Hopefully he gets it worked out.
But,
Another thing about the solution I thought of, by the way, besides, like the dish thing, leasing the upper band of the spectrum, I thought that would actually work. My other thought was, why don't they just, create a situation where instead of having these machines, why doesn't T-Mobile pay for the filters? In the hospitals, like you said, like, oh, it's older equipment or the hospital. Why doesn't T-Mobile pay for those filters?
They won't.
Or see, that's the thing is that the only way this is going to work is if T-Mobile takes the initiative to either find the real solutions with the equipment, or they actually probably have to shut down those sectors.
no,
They're
but
just going to have to
T-Mobile,
broadcast band 71 away from the hospital.
T-Mobile. I even told my guy, I was like, "Can't you just remotely turn off the radio?" He straight up told me, most of these sites are not like the N41 sites where they are able to be remotely turned off and turned on, like fully decommissioned type. You know what I'm saying? Like for not just a maintenance window, but like permanent, right? So it goes back to the fact that software-defined networking, and I know Pete mentioned this a while back, software-defined networking is critical in cases like this, because then you don't have to pay somebody to physically go to the cell site.
Oh yeah, and if you have someone, stumble over a better configuration in a location because not every first deploy is perfect, you don't have to pay to send somebody up the tower again to fix it.
I don't know, man. I know that this was something that they knew potentially could happen. I feel like there could have been action steps done prior to this becoming a widespread issue.
Yeah, I think the FCC should have looked into it further.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't this a problem in 2016 when they started repacking the spectrum from TV? How did they not identify this as an issue?
Because a Jeep Pie's an idiot.
I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you on that.
Bro, like, he literally left behind a stench that we'll never be able to get rid of, probably for like the next 10 years.
So, of all the FCC commissioners in the past 30 years, I think the one that I have the least problem with at the moment is Rosenworcel.
Oh, she's great.
Everyone before her, it's like, what were they thinking when they approved some of this stuff?
Hey, I'm going to give Brendan Carr a little bit of props. He wants to give CBRS higher power. So
Yeah,
I'm with that.
It depends on how much power.
Well, what do they got it?
Because-
They got it at right now. I think they got it at what, 36 dB per megahertz, whatever, per 10 megahertz. I think they want to boost it to 47.
Mind you, if it gets too high, the SAS has to turn it off because the high pulses how you tell the entire system that the Navy's using the radar.
Right, and not only that is I would not want it to be as high as C-band, maybe up to about 80%
That's tickling the cap you can actually go to.
Yeah, but Dish wants it at minus 72.
That's
their problem.
Yeah, that's
They want to broadcast their 1020 megahertz national on 72 dB per megahertz or whatever that measure is.
Oh, nice. So they turn off everybody's CBRS. I see what they're doing.
Yeah, that's a little hot, man.
You
Well, I
can't
know
go
that's
that
not
high.
happening. Yeah, but I'll tell you what. I mean, Verizon, I think, is lobbying to get it at 47.
See, that's kind of the sweet spot in between. But 40 to 60 is about where I would set it at, right?
I think Verizon understands that they're going to be going big with C-band, so they don't want to risk. C-band's their Goldilocks spectrum. They wouldn't want to.
Yeah, you can't jack up CBRS to the point of C-band because your RF propagation won't work right for either of them. That's
also, you're at the risk of it going into radar mode.
Crap.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, gents, big news on CBRS and C-band. Apparently, Verizon is going to be, by the end of the year, doing carrier aggregation with C-band and CBRS. And it's going to be, I think they said that they're going to do carrier aggregation on the uplink using CBRS. So that'll be some kind of configuration of, I mean, I don't know what. I think that's why they chose N5. Maybe I don't know. If
LTE done right.
And it could be 72 dB. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah. But I think it's pretty cool that pretty much off rip, if they're going to be aggregating carriers of CBRS, the uplink is about to be upgraded in a big way at the end of this year. Because CBRS licenses, CBRS licenses on PALs are 10 megahertz, but on GAA it's like
30.
I mean, yeah, dude, it's great. I don't want to see that getting ruined either, dude. These interference issues are a problem. You know what the real issue is? All of this is a problem because now we're in a rush to get all of this spectrum out because we're like 3 years behind the top networking countries in the world, right? Like Korea's way ahead, Taiwan is way ahead, China's
now,
ahead.
mind you,
Japan's
they're not using low band for 5G.
No, they're using all mid-band and some millimeter waves. So, like, what the heck are we doing here with our spectrum situation?
You see, China just releases it all the spectrum all at once, right?
Right.
We have to just divvy it up and make rules about it.
Well, they divvy it up and make rules about it so that no particular entity has some kind of superior advantage or whatever.
Hey, we divvy it up and make rules about it and then get medical equipment interference.
Yeah, but if you look at the CBRS rules, I mean, is there any, well, actually, let's turn it around. Is there any worse spectrum when it comes to rules? Anything worse than EBS BRS? That's just ridiculous. That's going to need a totally, like, they're going to, what are they going to auction that? Is that set for the end of the year or are they going to do it next year?
Well, wait a second. There was it was just announced that 3.45 auction is going to be October.
But that's CBRS. That's not the EBS BRS. I'm talking about the rest of the.
The 2.5 stuff, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The rest of that stuff that all the frickin' the DSCs and the schools have.
The best I got for that from
I think December, maybe, right? That's
something like that.
The best I got from that from my guy from NTIA is before the end of Q1 2022.
Oh.
So that's no time soon.
That's actually pretty soon. It's within the next 6 to 7 months.
I don't know, man. I always said, I've been saying this for a few months now, is if any version of this FCC wants to be a hero, they'll figure out two things. Figure out what you're doing with these bands in terms of power. You know, like fix the CBRS problem, number one. Number two, I say just give T-Mobile the rest of EBS BRS. Let them pay, but just let them have it, and then keep them out of the rest of the CBRS. And try to get some kind of and seriously, try to get some kind of contiguity, you know, around this freaking country. The way these bands are divvied is just horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, they got freaking T-Mobile's got freaking 850 megahertz in Myrtle Beach. Why?
Because nobody wants it and only people vacation there.
But you get my point, Pete? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like,
personally, I wouldn't be going to North Carolina. The Lowe's near me has good band 41, so.
I just think that these companies, these MNOs, need more uniformity when it comes to their bands. It just doesn't make any sense.
I wouldn't mind seeing each of the major carriers, and this is coming up because I'm writing about spectrum interaction, having primary each having primary low, mid, and high bands, and then some secondary, and having it all being contiguous blocks because it would make it so much easier to implement network slicing. And you could guarantee network parity.
That's true. Good point.
I mean, what do we want as consumers?
Will we ever get it?
Competition.
No.
We want good competition wherever we go.
Pete, we've been calling for this for like, what, the 4 or 5 years I've been on this platform. We've been dying for that.
And, hey, I'm just happy T-Mobile's getting better coverage in Wyoming now.
How much are they covering now? Most of it?
With the exception of a 25-mile stretch, every town I've ducked in on 80, which is covered by Union Telephone. I'm on 71 or 66 or 2 the entire time.
Are they roaming on any other regional carrier?
Nope.
No. Isn't that where they have SwiftTel? Don't they have that going on over there?
It is it's being listed when you drive around on Cell Checker Pro, Signal Checker Pro, as Sprint. But it's showing up as native coverage.
All right, man. Well, hopefully they figure out these interference situations. I don't know. I'll follow up. I'll see if I find anything else out. I wish I knew more of the local networking team to see if it was happening at the local area hospitals and medical centers, but I don't really know anybody around here for it. So if I do find anything out, I'll follow up with you guys. Next topic, Pete, Zero Cool, is the chip shortage. Apparently it's a real thing. The chip shortage is not hyperbole. It's not overstated. We are going to see the telecom industry affected by it. And I think the worst part about this part is that we're at a renaissance in networking technology where we're transitioning from primarily a 4G and LTE based infrastructure to 5G. And that requires a lot of changes. That needs baseband upgrades, radio upgrades, antenna upgrades, fiber optic, there's so many different things happening on all these different levels. And with the chip shortage, supply for telecom networking gear is about to be seriously compromised because Verizon and AT&T and T-Mobile are all upgrading at a feverish pace, and now they're going to have to slow down because of supply constraints.
And Amazon's puppet company is trying to build out.
And Dish, even though they're doing this whole O-RAN thing, stuff has to get up on tower sites. So
I'm gonna laugh and say this is just going to make it so it takes more time for my ideal secure slice to be deployable because it requires having release 19 5G implementations, which requires new chips.
Yeah, already AT&T
by the way,
stated... Oh, go ahead, Pete.
I may be modifying that release.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
One of my committee members is on that committee, and he thinks I'm better explaining new stuff than he is.
You're gonna have to give me an update on that if something does come of it.
When it's about to go public, we'll let you know.
Good. So AT&T already publicly came out and said that there is definitely a supply constraint, and I think that might be part of the reason why we're only seeing C-band coming up, randomly and sparingly. It's just like a spot here and a spot there. We're not seeing entire markets getting the upgrades. It's just like randomly. In fact, I've only found one site, Pete, in the entire city that I could find, and it's an AT&T site. It's got a Samsung panel up there for C-band. Nothing else from any carrier.
actually, there's an interesting caveat to the chip shortage. Companies that didn't significantly ramp down their asking for semiconductors during the pandemic are not facing a shortage.
Huh.
So companies like Toyota never they only dropped their demand by 15%.
I heard it was 10% for Toyota, even it was lower.
10%. So
Yeah.
their distributor continued running their fabrication line for their request 24 hours a day. So if Toyota says, hey, we need these chips, they go, yeah, we got it running. Send us the schematics and we'll sell them to you.
So Barry was right. Barry said that literally it's caused by the companies that were requesting the chips
Shutting down the production.
they were slow. Yeah, so basically, if a company, i.e., Toyota, if they would have requested to their suppliers keep everything the same, there would be no shortage for Toyota.
Well, there isn't much of a shortage for Toyota because they were, by having the 90-something% volume, the lab never went offline. But when you say, okay, we're stopping and stop requesting things, the fabrication rooms require more sterilization and purer air than a surgical suite. And more electricity than some towns in developing countries. So you say we're halting our demand, they shut everything down, and it takes 4 to 5 months to get that environment back to where they can start running fabrications.
Yeah. Hey, Steve, remember how I said Charlotte, Oregon's going to build those towers out of a deck of cards? Well, guess what? It's happening, buddy.
So Dish had zero, or Fire Mobile had zero demand for chips. So they're probably going to be getting zero chips for the next 7 to 8 months and paying a premium to start getting them.
Mm-hmm.
So if Verizon comes out and says we don't really have a supply issue, you would believe them?
I don't know. How many RF engineers did they cut back on over the pandemic?
None. They've been building out millimeter wave and CBRS like crazy.
Then if they didn't cut demand, then there's a chance. Or actually, it's not even Verizon with this. If the antenna makers didn't end up cutting demand in general, they probably don't have one. But even if they say cut by 50 or 60%, there might be some type of shortage for Verizon's demands.
Well, it's what is it? They got the big deal with Samsung. That's new, and then they've got Ericsson. They're doing away with Nokia.
Yeah, so it depends on the ramp up time for Samsung, which by the way is different than their cell phone division.
They call it Samsung Electronics, right?
Yeah, and the cell phone's mobility.
Mm-hmm.
And for Ericsson, it's the same boat. If these are new fabs and they were at lower capacity, then it's going to take a bit for the new fabs to happen.
Because I don't see T-Mobile slowing down either. The N41 upgrades here are pretty steady. I mean, sites are getting it all the time.
I'm actually surprised I found a second site in Longmont with it.
Fast?
Can't complain. Or I was getting 350 inside of the Lowe's near the piping.
What handset are you running?
That's good.
Pixel 5.
That's pretty good. You're good. You know, if you were using a more powerful SoC, with better modem technology, I bet you'd be getting 500
Hey, I was shocked at the 220 at the Taco Bell.
on band 71.
No, this is 41.
Oh crap! So you're
At
getting
the edge of the
supercharged
site.
tacos. Nice. Oh man.
Barry. Wait, I can't go into the reason for knowing those specific details, but it came from somebody who explained to me how long production takes when I made a request at a certain agency.
Yeah, Barry's saying just-in-time supply chains grind to a halt when orders do not come in. Pete's correct concerning the amount of time necessary to restart production. So it basically takes, because they're talking about, Pete, they're talking about this affecting maybe up to 50 weeks, which essentially puts it at a year. So that would be most of this year.
Yep. And several government agencies are also encountering issues, and they technically have better credit than any company in the U.S.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
The shortage is real, and Feye, or what they call Dodge in America, is going to be hitting a crunch. I wouldn't expect large vehicle volumes out until mid-2022.
It's the next pandemic, folks. It's the next pandemic.
Yeah, it's going to be Chip-ageddon.
Yeah. Well, what's that saying? When the chips are down, what's the rest?
Oh, when the paint is peeling and the chips are down.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on Chip-ageddon.
Yeah, dude, I had to negotiate a new lease for my wife. Got her an SUV, and we took back the old one, and I didn't tell them that I had an old one, that I had a trade-in. So I negotiated the price as low as I could get it, literally to the point where they were like, "We're sick of negotiating with you. This is the lowest. We can't do it anymore." So I got it down as low as I could, and I was like, "All right, I got to trade it."
When I get to that point, I go, BS. I'll turn this table over if you can't round it down another 5 cents.
I mean, you know how it goes, man. You try to squeeze every dollar out of every payment, you know.
Oh, I'm freaking cutthroat with those auto dealers.
Because you know they're playing games. You know what I'm saying, Pete?
Yeah, which is why I got 5 years identity theft protection and $10,000 life insurance the last time I signed an auto loan.
Jarrett says, can the X55 do sub 6 gigahertz carrier ag? Not that I know of. I don't think it does. I think only the newest chips do, which is the X60 modem. And I think the only carrier doing it right now is T-Mobile. They're doing N71, N41. But they're doing it. But
they're not even 100% efficient.
I know it's like somebody was telling me they were getting 300 megabits aggregating band 41 and N41 and N71, and I was like, well, if you put it in NSA, it's probably faster.
We're gonna have to wait until X70 before we see something like that.
Isn't that crazy? The MediaTek's got a good thing going on there. The LG Velvet from T-Mobile has been doing it for months.
Oh, yeah,
well, it's designed, but it's poorly optimized.
Yeah, friends don't let friends. MediaTek, bro.
I mean, it's great that you can do new radio aggregation on it. It's just that I'd probably get the same connection on N41 with an anchor of 2.
Yeah.
But it's all about how it performs, man. You know, we could talk about NSA and SA and all these things, and then you get into the real world and you start testing these sites, and it's, you know, not
By
great.
the way, the stuff I'm working on only works in SA mode.
I mean, isn't that should be the focus at this point, dude? I'm done with NSA. I'm done.
You will never be done with NSA. Never, ever, ever, ever.
Every time you send a picture of a certain part of your body, they're going to be seeing it. Never done with NSA.
That's right.
So what, bro? Basically, you're saying we got to hang on to LT as long as we can.
Well,
what do you think I'm doing? That's why I don't have any 5G phones.
We are going to be on LTE for the next 5 to 10 years. I mean, there are locations in my county where the only place you get service is 3G Verizon.
That's all
And
they
that
got.
came out, yeah, and that came out 20-something years ago.
Yeah, but now they're going to shut down 3G, so what's going to be there?
N71.
I just noticed your smile, your gleaming smile when you said N71. Yes, it'll be there. It'll be there.
All they have to do is get Boulder, the city of Boulder, to allow them to increase the power.
Bro, they want to stretch the signal 65 miles, dude.
You got to increase the power.
Yeah.
Hey, that 3G Verizon, you can get a text message.
Yeah, I
So
know.
if T-Mobile can make it so you can text and make a phone call and check the Nick score, they're doing better.
How many people in Boulder are checking Nick scores, bro?
It's a joke. But, if you can get VoLTE and actually download a text page, you're beating Verizon there.
Yo, Pete, what do you think about Starlink as a mobile service provider? Mobility. Call, text. 10 megabit per second, cellular.
You see, Martin Luther King had a dream.
Where else could you get signal worldwide? With satellite, it's possible.
Yeah, you can get satellite signal worldwide and basic internet functionality. But at the cost of what Starlink would be charging, it might be cheaper to get a satellite phone, which you can still make pretty much a call worldwide.
Yeah, but the service is pricey.
That's so pricey.
Hey, it's pricey. It's going to be pricey either way. There will have to be a UN resolution with pretty much everybody signing on, saying countries will subsidize the cost for satellite internet and telephony, because you're going to be paying a premium for the foreseeable future for something like that until it's commoditized.
Yeah, the last price I checked was like $600 for 900 megabytes. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Not even a gig, dude?
No.
Oh, my God. Trash.
so I could make a call to whatever international agency would pick it up if I'm in the middle of the ocean on a satellite phone. In a case of emergency, they'll come within 5 hours, and I won't be paying anywhere near as much as a satellite internet connection in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, data's a lot more expensive than phone calls, unfortunately.
And for certain locations, you don't need that much data. Like, if you're sailing on the ocean, you should be paying more attention to the condition of the waves than you are on your Facebook wall.
Yeah, right. And even like the mobile internet hotspots from like Intelsat, they only go like 384 kb. They're really slow.
Dude, so it's basically email.
Pretty much email and text and maybe some web.
Hey, I've had a lot of good plain text sites.
Yeah, but you can't Tinder, you can't TikTok.
No.
You can't check it for me, please. You can't
Sneed.
do none of that.
Who the hell needs that?
I don't know, man. That's what the kids are doing these days, bro. I mean, you see it. It's a social media craze.
Block it out,
you love
man.
me.
You know what's more scary? The kids are gonna be born into 5G. That's what's scarier.
The only social media I get into is 3 or 4 YouTube comment sections regularly.
He'd be running the comment section of my channel.
Actually, I do go through like most of your videos like 3-4 times a week just to pull out the links to Indian scams and whatnot. So,
P, you're the best in the videos when you hashtag Fire Mobile. I'm always looking for that one.
Hey, did you like the natural language sweaty armpit thing?
Yeah, you always find a way to pull it off. It just real smooth right into the center. Oh, so Pete, there was a little bit of turnover at the company this week.
Which company?
T-Mobile. Matt Staniff, the chief marketing officer, was.
I only care about cats.
Well, I don't know. He was there for a long time. I guess he was a John Leisure guy. He had been there for a while, and I don't know. It looks like there's a little bit of modifications and some changes that are happening up there when it comes to certain positions. To me, it seems like maybe Eugene wants to do more of the marketing stuff. He was the former CMO before he became the
operations officer,
the COO. Yeah, so under John, he was originally started there in 2012, and then so I'm guessing that maybe he sees things a little differently than maybe the Staniff guy, and Staniff wants to run triathlons or something. I don't know what he's going to do with his time or whatever. But do you think that's going to affect
on the beach?
Do you think it's going to affect the company's marketing approach? Do you think it's going to be noticed, or do you think it'll be pretty much the same?
So I'm not one to ask about marketing. T-Mobile for Business markets to my target demographic, and AT&T and Verizon don't.
Right.
My target demographic is white guy in 30s who listens to NPR.
But Pete, I mean, you can't argue that the marketing team at T-Mobile may be the driving force of the last 2 years, 3 years, pretty much the end of the John Leisure era, and then moving into the Eugene era. The marketing team has been on 100.
I don't know, man. I mean, I set Matt.
I stopped paying attention.
I sent Matt Staniff like 30 emails, bring back the Sprint hamsters, and he hasn't listened to me.
No,
dude, I would have loved that. I'd actually watch commercials for T-Mobile if they did that.
If they really wanted to do something innovative, they would have brought Dan Hesse for commercials.
Yes.
Wait. Just have Dan Hesse sit there and explain to you why T-Mobile made so much more money than Sprint did and why they bought Sprint. Yeah. That'd be a good commercial.
Cool, huh?
Yeah. I think it's going to be more of their future marketing commercials being more network driven and more value proposition. Highlighting the value of T-Mobile and their network superiority.
Hey,
right.
Those are not just talking points. I'm just speaking for myself.
Right.
Yeah. Especially where he's built it. Primo stuff. You'd have to go to Korea to find better deployments.
Yo, Pete, what do you think of the Magenta Max plan?
It's good for them TikTokers.
So you're not interested?
So, well, I would be interested, but it would be $10. It would be $120 more a month for me.
Yeah, it's going to price some people out. I was thinking about it the other day as they were advertising Magenta Max on TV.
Being able to watch a 4K video without buffering would be nice, but I constantly use my hotspot. I never hit my 5 gig limit, and I think you're the only one on my plan with all your testing who even comes close to my 100 gig deprioritization threshold.
I'm at what? I think I use 40 to 50 gigs.
Yeah, and I use somewhere between 30 and 40 gigs. So I'm obviously not the target demographic because when I'm about if I'm watching the YouTube, it's not like I'm watching something for entertainment. or like watching it for entertainment. It's more like I'm going to YouTube, turning on your podcast, and turning off my screen. So it could be, 144p for all I care because I'm driving. I even do this with twit.tv.
Yeah,
Just turn off the screen.
Yeah.
So
My only problem, Pete, has been momentarily on Disney Plus, and then it'll kind of like it'll downgrade the resolution to keep it from buffering.
dude, I get that on my Hulu on my home wired TV.
Really?
Yeah, and the TV
Wait, aren't you
clocks.
on municipal fiber?
Yeah, the TV clocks are at 600 megs a second.
What the? So what's happening? That's on the Hulu side. Or
It's
the
on
app
the
side?
it's on the app side.
Huh.
I have more than enough downlink to get anything they're throwing at me. So if I'm encountering slowdown, it's their fault, not mine.
I see it on YouTube TV also, Pete. That's not.
Oh, I do
surprising.
too.
Yeah.
And this is on I don't have an Ethernet connection for that, but it's on a 5 gigahertz connection, and pinging that router from the distance of the puck on my phone, I'm getting 230 megs a second.
Yeah, it makes no difference on my
I
end
can-
either. I'll speed test it and get like 150 megabits, but then the app is going to get blurry for no reason. It doesn't make any sense. Fast.com
Dude.
got 100 plus.
I can stream 8K video, no problem in my house. I get a dynamic resolution drop from 720p video. Oh, and hi, Jay Holt. Yes, I'm making an appearance. I saw a live stream. I wasn't eating dinner, and I wasn't going to bed.
That sounds like a bad routes issue if it's downgrading you like that with that kind of connection speed.
So
Wow.
it gets even funnier. My ISP has a Netflix CDN. Occasionally, they go to a resolution drop, and it's like,
Don't you pay for the premium, Pete?
yeah,
Ridiculous, man.
yeah.
Just stop watching Netflix.
You ain't lying, bro.
That's
Dude,
that's
they're
my
the only-
solution. Just stop watching streaming video.
Dude, they're the only ones for the rest of development.
Yeah, where's he going to get that from, bro?
Yeah,
You
where am I
want to
going to
go
get that from?
You're going to want to
Where you-
torrent all that stuff as municipal provider's going to cut them off.
Where are you gonna get what now? I'm sorry.
Arrested Development season 4 and 5.
I've never even heard of that.
Oh, it's so funny.
Okay, then again, this is coming from the guy who's turned on his TV twice in the past year. So,
Yeah. Super Bowls, right?
yep. I think the last thing I really watched was the Super Bowl.
By the way, the antenna looked better than the Comcast for that last I watched.
Oh yeah. Antenna's
Yeah, I
always
watched
better.
it on antenna.
Sneak,
So-
did you watch soccer, man? Would you watch the Brazil game?
I
This
did.
evening?
I watched. Two
I
games.
knew it. Like you
I
gotta
watched,
be
I watched
watching.
I watched the Croatia and England match earlier today too.
I've been trying to tune in for the friendlies on the ESPN Plus.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Isn't that a good app, Pete? The ESPN Plus app.
Especially ESPN 8.
I don't have Netflix, Hulu, or anything that ends with plus.
Do you want
I
some
have
codes?
not. I have no streaming service whatsoever.
Lucky you. I provide streaming entertainment for 12 people.
Yeah.
3 of them are retired. 4 of them are children. 2 of them are parents on their wits' end.
Well, Pete, I think you might be I think you might be a little bit underestimating that number. How many people are in this live stream?
4.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Patreon only?
Oh wait, no, there are 71. But
Oh,
I'm
so you got to
saying-
add them. You've been entertaining them. That's what it is.
Yeah.
and you know, I've seen no super chats from each MC.
Oh, there's a super chat. Did I miss one?
No,
Oh, my bad, bro.
I'm literally staring at the chat window.
Oh, this is the
Better
part
you
where
than-
Pete starts going crazy, just reading them all.
Better you than me. My eyes would hurt so badly.
Yo, Pete, don't hit the brick wall behind you, bro. Have you seen N71 and N41 carrier aggregation? Somebody was saying that they saw it in North Carolina. They actually tweeted at me and they showed me the screenshot of the speed test. They were getting it's like 350 on the downlink.
I think I saw a post about it on Reddit, but I haven't seen anything recently.
Dude,
Dude.
apparently the frick LG Velvet's been doing it for like 6 months.
Dude,
And just
my
nobody
phone,
has the phone.
my phone, for whatever reason, when I connect to N41, says NRSA, and then when I do a speed test, it says I'm on T-Mobile home internet.
You mean
What?
to say that LG actually made a phone that does something?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's an unrooted pixel. So
Yeah, well, did someone
So-
say super chat? Thanks.
hold
Ethan.
up, back up the truck. Ethan M with a $5 super chat. Thank you for the $5. Saying that somebody say super chat.
Here we go. Pete's ready. Actually, you brought up the home internet, Pete. So for me, because of
Was
the
it worth it?
so for me on the Sprint Keep site, it was atrocious, and then for Dave on his site, it's solid.
I love my T-Mobile home internet. I
Dude.
get
Mine was trash, bro.
Dave, they're the only they're the only option that isn't horrible there. What do you expect?
Yeah.
no. I live in a decently major metro area. I have only one ISP due to my apartment, but with T-Mobile, I get so in the area, like in the actual area. If I didn't live in the apartment, I could get AT&T if I wanted to, or I could get
What do they
Comcast.
offer? Fiber?
Yeah.
Dang.
Apartments
So if-
don't like fiber, even if
if
the
I did not-
city pays for the install.
Yeah, if I didn't live in this complex, I could get AT&T, I could get Comcast, or I could get T-Mobile home internet.
How
Right?
do they price? How do they price the competition?
That I don't know. I'm not totally sure. But here, the only thing we can get is this local provider that's basically got cables in the apartment from. It's called Bloom, BLOOM, and they offered me 25 megabits a second with a 500 gig data cap for $50
man.
a month.
No.
So
My
With
T-Mobile
T-
home internet. Go ahead.
if they even give you 1 second, Zero Cooler F for some reason is sending us a super chat. $5 from Zero Cool up here saying they will have to make the chips bit by bit. Hashtag chips shortage. Box
That's right.
box.
Hashtag
Get
Hashtag
it?
Doritos.
Get it bit by bit by bit. You get it? Chips?
Yeah. What kind of chip you got in there, a Dorito?
So, Dave, you're telling me that the T-Mobile home internet at your apartment gives you greater than 50 megs a second down?
Yeah.
No. It gives me about 40 during the day, 35 to 40 during the day, and it's about 70 to 80 at night. But my internet at the apartment itself is capped at 25 meg with a 500 gig data cap.
So, it's actually worth the money since you're paying the same for more.
Exactly. I'm paying the same and getting more, and it's really working well. I'm very happy with it.
I'm sure if I set it up, but I'd only set it up if they asked me to do a promotion, and I'm not a prestigious reviewer like somebody on this live stream.
Oh, cut it out, bro.
I probably would. Well, before I finish my thought, thank you, Gene G Jr. for the $2 super chat. Says nothing.
Yeah.
I probably would have, no complaints with the price and the speed and whatnot, but I'm not their demographic.
I had a major issue when I first got the service where it was constantly like not loading websites. So like it would work fine, and then just I would try to load a website and it would fail.
Was somebody using a microwave in your complex?
Oh crap!
No, I was on 5 gigahertz.
By the
Wi-Fi.
way, that's another FCC issue that happened during the Clinton administration.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what, using microwave ovens?
No. The fact
The
that
2.4 gigahertz.
Bleat has interference with microwave ovens over a certain watt range.
Yeah, no, I use only 5 gigahertz here. I don't even have 2.4 enabled at all.
Probably a good idea considering you're in an apartment and everybody else is running 2.4.
Oh, I know. If I had 6E devices, and I'd buy a 6E router and just use 7 gigahertz.
All day, bro.
I'd use like that 7.1 gigahertz, the
Could you
highest
imagine
channel it offers.
how clear those channels would be?
Oh my lord!
Um,
They'll be clear for like another year or two, but that's about it.
Hey, I'm happy. I'm happy in my house. Only my routers show up on any of the 5 gigahertz frequencies.
7 gigahertz is pretty high. Like in an apartment, yeah, I could see where it would fill up. But then again, also you've got to consider that there's more frequencies. I mean, that's 1,200 megahertz of spectrum we're talking about.
Also, the concrete walls and the steel and rebar and concrete around you causes some type of degradation.
Which apartments have that? Which apartments have that? Where do they do that at, bro? In California or something?
Wait, the outside walls aren't concrete and they don't have rebar and concrete between floors?
Not ours in the CLE, bro.
Ours are brick for the outer walls. I don't know about the
right.
I don't know about the floors.
I don't know where you live.
Floors here are concrete.
Yeah, you guys are doing it right.
I get 30 networks on 2.4 gigahertz.
Wait, y'all got seismic activity over there, Pete?
No.
And I get 15 on 5 gigahertz.
Yeah, a little Wi-Fi tip for you guys. If you for your SSID, if you at the end of it, if you put _nomap, NOMAP, you'll eliminate it from going to Google's and Microsoft's Wi-Fi databases. So just a little tip there for you.
I may update that at some point in the near future.
Yeah, _nomap, all lowercase.
Yeah, bro. T-Mobile home internet was trash here because of the Sprint site. They're dropping the ball. They should have kept this Sprint site and moved T-Mobile gear to it. But instead, they're going the other way. They're going to decom this site, and they're going to move whatever gear over to the T-Mobile site, which is trash.
When I get
bro, it has it has 66 and 12, and it's short. It's like maybe 80 feet up, maybe 100 feet up. The Sprint site over here, closest to me, is like 150 feet up. You know, so I don't know, dude. Screw them. They ruined everything, dude. Everything was fantastic when I had a strong band 41 signal.
My local site has all the bands except for 41, and when we get that, I expect my T-Mobile home internet to take a serious jump in speeds.
How close are you to the site?
About a half mile.
Yeah, you might get it. You should get it, actually. We shall see. Dave will be sending me screenshots of the freaking home internet going like 250, 300.
Hey, I've seen screenshots of people with home internet getting 700.
Yeah, they must have clear line of sight, dude, and be close because that's pretty much the peak.
Yep, but I mean, even at lowest priority on the network, it still works well enough that I'm very, very happy with it. I get 35 during the day and about 80 at night.
So, Caleb, you say _nomap lowercase?
That's correct. Just put that into your SSID. Yes, sir.
Yep.
And to check that, you can download a program called, I think it's Weeble.
Yep.
Yep, Weeble actually has every SSID of your Wi-Fi and MAC address known to man.
We seriously need to get on and do a talk, like an entire podcast, just on spectrum, both cellular and Wi-Fi, and tips and tricks, like disabling 2.4 gigahertz if at all possible, because of the fact that it's going to be clearer.
Wi-Fi's the devil. I hate it.
Yeah, I'm #TeamNoWiFi, bro.
No Wi-Fi. We just stop
Hashtag
using
no
Wi-Fi. It's
Wi-Fi.
horrible.
Why would you do that?
It's just
Dude,
horrible.
I pay for unlimited plans. Stop it, Dave. You know this, man.
I do
If
too.
I wasn't paying for unlimited plans, then yeah, I'd be with you, bro.
But the networks are far more constrained than your Wi-Fi, than your home Wi-Fi is.
Bro, I have trash Wi-Fi options here. Can you
Oh well, I
understand
know
my
you
plight?
do.
You know, like I'm dealing with Cox over here, bro.
But sane people should not, sane people that have good internet options should not be like team no Wi-Fi. That's crazy.
No, well, my situation is
I'm
team no
not that
Wi-Fi.
sane. I'm not
Number
that
one,
sane.
number one, I don't do public Wi-Fi ever under any circumstances.
Oh no,
thanks,
absolutely
bro.
not.
I'd rather
Yeah,
not connect to anything than to connect to public Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's why we get the unlimited plans.
Right. And then the other thing is when I'm looking at these, when we look at all the networking, I mean, come on, man. I live in a freaking city where the tower density here, there's a site every mile, dude. You know, like there really should never come a time where I can't get a couple of megabits per second. Come on, man. You know,
No, I agree.
and with more mid-band coming and with millimeter wave being a legitimate capacity layer here in my city, come on, man. I shouldn't need Wi-Fi. I mean, unless it's like in a bunker and there's private networking, right? That's a different story. And if I'm home and I have fucking dedicated fiber, then yeah.
Now then, take a look here though. With Wi-Fi 6E, you have 1,200 megahertz of mid-band spectrum. How much millimeter wave does Verizon have?
They have like 1,300 megahertz of it, 1,600 megahertz.
Okay, so they have a little bit more, just a little bit more millimeter wave than Wi-Fi 6E has in mid-band, right? And when you're using that on Wi-Fi, especially if you're in a not crowded area like a house or whatever, the likelihood of you having to share that 1,200 megahertz is low. So you're getting almost 1,200 megahertz to yourself. Nobody to share it with.
Yeah, but it's not about just the sharing piece, Dave. It's about being secure. It's about being reliable. You know, it's about what you're comfortable using. You know, it's about your option. Like, for example, in my case, I mean, come on, man. You know why I'm team no Wi-Fi.
Oh, I know. You had dumpster fire internet. We know.
All right. Trash. Come on, bro. Cox is garbage. I mean, it was good when I was at my old apartment because they had brand new, coax upgrades to the infrastructure.
So I'm going to pause you for a second to thank Rafael Perez for a $5 super chat saying, to the great SMT and the info he always provides. To the community watching in the background.
If I had a beer, I would toast to that.
Thanks,
you guys want to know how secure your Wi-Fi is? I just put a link in the chat. Go to brax.me/geo. And it's called Wi-Fi triangulation. That's how secure your Wi-Fi is, which is not secure. That's why we're team no Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but
and you think LTE and 5G are more secure?
LTE's got to be a little bit more.
It's more secure because you're not constantly pinging off other people's Wi-Fi. And think about like just recently what the whole, what the Amazon Alexa did. That's all. You're just sharing your internet
Street
with other
mode.
people.
I hate
that stupid sidewalk thing. No, that should be burned.
Exactly.
Like you should take every Alexa device you own and toss it down a well.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Wi-Fi is the same thing. Every time your Wi-Fi radio is on, you're pinging other Wi-Fi devices. Just go to the website and you'll see.
Send me that link on Twitter.
I'll put it here really quick in the group chat.
Because I don't have a... Okay.
Hashtag team no Wi-Fi.
Yeah, man. It's getting horrible. It's getting worse and worse and worse.
Because people want to freaking, they want to bank through their apps. They want to, send and transmit and receive sensitive information, banking, routing information, accounts. People are doing stock exchange. I mean, there's a lot of things done on handheld. I just don't want to be on a Wi-Fi connection when I do it.
VPN.
I think I'm.
But even a VPN, I mean, come on, man. There's levels to this.
Yeah, VPNs can be hacked. They're not safe. They're deep packet inspection.
And they're giving it up quick and giving it up smooth. Some of these VPNs, bro.
Yeah.
Some of them, if you get a free one, yeah, absolutely. Don't buy a free. Don't use a free VPN. That's stupid.
A free VPN is like it's like Little Red Riding Hood, bro. It's like the wolf wearing a dress, and why are your teeth so big? You know what I'm saying? It's that nonsense.
Yeah, no, you don't do that.
Yeah, anything for free, man. Come on, that means they're taking everything.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, you guys, what's on the docket for buying smartphones this year? Anybody buying any new hardware, any new phones?
I don't know if it's going to be this year, but I'm seriously looking at either the OnePlus Nord N10 or the Moto One 5G Ace, depending on when I can get Lineage OS. Like depending on like that.
The software.
Yeah, I might buy one because I put Lineage on all my phones. I take them out of the box and then custom ROM them as soon as I take them out of the box. So
how are they doing with the support in that community? They're keeping things up to date.
Yeah.
They were always good. I remember when it was Oxygen OS.
Well, no, Oxygen OS is OnePlus's, so they used to be their OnePlus One had Lineage, I think it was,
right?
And then they made their own ROM called Oxygen.
Yep.
Yeah,
actually, I got. Oh, go ahead, Pete.
I changed my SSID. Now I have to change my spark bulbs.
There you go.
How many you got, dude?
4.
Oh.
I don't have any smart devices like bulbs, speakers, nothing.
I'm laying in bed and nobody turns lights off. So, check what lights are on and turn them off.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Don't have to get out of my PJs.
Yo, Pete, I might be heading out to Vegas. Pete, I might be heading out to Vegas this July for International Fight Week. I might make a stop at Boulder and come scoop you up, man.
When's fight week?
I think it's the week of July 9th. What's your timing looking like that week?
Gonna have to talk with the other half. I know I'm going to Utah around the 4th for stuff, and thinking of maybe hitting up a national park in the area. So we're gonna have to, coordinate some of that.
Well, I was thinking about flying out to Boulder, renting a car, and then we could head out to Vegas if you can sneak out for a couple days.
The first rule about Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club.
We'll do some coordination. Let me know when your plans get concreted, and we can figure out from there. I might be back by the 9th. I'm not 100%, but we'll look into it.
Yeah, dude, it's a big time event every year, except last year, of course. Ruined everything.
Oi. Oh, and no radio. What brand outlet are you using? I found somewhere I can turn off the lights without authenticating.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Change your name to Yes Radio, because radio is the ultimate. Radio is the ultimate technology.
Bro, I think his name...
Are you a ham operator?
I am.
No, bro. No, Dave has never used a ham radio in his life.
Hey, even if I hadn't, though, like even just receiving information over the radio, it's a great way for mass communication. You can't deny that.
Hey, no radio. If I was in your market, I could turn out your lights.
See, that's why I don't want smart devices.
Smart devices are not allowed in people in witness protection.
Right.
Oh, yeah, the IT devices are so insecure.
Simply because somebody like me, although I may be, slightly above a novice, but people like me can get you wondering why that stand lamp is flickering on and off. So you look at it, so I can get you through the window.
What I don't understand is how are we going into a new generation of networking and it's less secure than the old one?
I think we rushed into it. I think that's what it is. It's like the hype. And
Wait. Back up the truck. Have you read Impact?
No.
So on an LTE network, I can impersonate any user equipment on the network on any carrier, including your SIM card information. So we're slightly more secure than that in 5G with network slicing.
Yeah, that's not even commercial yet.
And of course, LTE had a lot of improvements from 3G and stuff like that. Like you're always hearing about downgrade attacks and everything else.
So
yeah, but the only trouble with 3G just was the capacity wasn't there. That was really the LTE move. It was about capacity.
So 6G, I'm going to make real secure so it's not backwards compatible because you can't have backwards compatibility.
Backwards compatibility always equals security flaws.
So I may have certain aspects of I may propose certain aspects of 5G security in 6G, but we're not going to be going for the LTE stack here.
You know what the problem was? You know what made things insecure was getting novices and rookies onto networking. Like,
God, yes.
how do you? Like,
oh
think about
man!
It, right? Like, think about it. For the average user on a network, you have to make everything easy. Therefore, you have to make everything be able to be bypassed, everything to be insecure, right? Just let it all through. Just let it happen. Make it easy. You know?
Hey, I can bypass stuff, but
oh yeah, no radio's right. He said it himself. He said convenience. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Convenience is insecurity. Yeah.
I can bypass stuff, but the bypasses that I end up doing on the equipment I work with have to be on the firmware level, and it has to be approved by a security committee.
Pete, if you work on Wi-Fi standards, I have some serious suggestions for improving those.
I think that's FCC stuff.
Oh, I mean like IEE stuff.
IEEE?
Yeah, like the IEEE, the 802.11 whatever standards.
I may have to talk with some of the people there. I know the editor-in-chief quite well.
Because I have some serious suggestions.
Maybe after I get my master's.
I mean, they even said that the two-factor authentication is already hacked, and I made a joke on Twitter saying, why not 3FA, right?
What's better? Just like Trump was saying, remember 5G? Why not 9G and 10G? Why not?
Exactly.
There you go.
Yes.
No. Trump said the way you improve cybersecurity is for everyone to stop using computers.
He's got a point. Like you've got to be quite fair. He's got a point.
It's not a good point.
Oh,
but
it's not a
valid.
good point, but it is a valid point.
I was telling Zero Cool the same thing. Hey, you don't want to jive with the insecurities of 5G. Just no longer have a device anymore. Just leave your 5G phone in some random bush somewhere and just leave.
If you want to be completely secure, throw out every single electronic device you have that can talk to a network.
Yep. So
phones, laptops, everything.
I'm gonna be back in like 3 to 4 minutes.
All right, Pete, we'll catch you when you're done, man.
Hey, I'm gonna be back quicker than Caleb did. Be right back.
All right.
Here's what I propose for a third factor authentication. You type in a password, then you do one of those OTP generated codes from like your password manager, and then you verify your DNA by putting like a little bit of blood on one of those little like pinprick type things like you do for diabetes testing.
Yeah, I mean, biometric is so. Here's the problem. Passwords are no longer secure. Doesn't matter how long you make it; it'll always be hashed out. The only secure thing nowadays is biometrics, because but even though biometrics can be hacked as well, but still, it's just passwords are not not the solution anymore. You need like 5FA or something, right? Like five like multiple steps of security is like the way to go. Like the many layers of security, the more you have, is the better solution.
So what do you think would be a good proposal? 2 emails, one number.
The problem is we have to get away from passwords
and no text messages.
Right. I just.
What about biometrics? Do you guys like that concept?
It has to be multiple biometrics.
Like your
That's what I'm saying. Like, could you do iris scan and then also the fingerprint?
Hey, face scan plus fingerprint puts you at a unique match for 1 in 10 septillion.
That's why you gotta do your ear and your left toe.
Oh crap!
What about twins? I know a pair of twins. Would that work for them?
The fingerprint and the face structure are unique for them.
Okay.
However, fingerprints may not be unique and face may not be unique.
What's a little bit better is hardware security keys, like a YubiKey key or something. Those are a lot better than a passcode because they have encryption on them.
I like the YubiKeys keys that require a fingerprint to unlock.
Exactly. So a combination with that and biometrics is a heck of a lot better than the password. That's for sure.
God, yeah.
Yo, to be honest
even
with
if
you
you
guys,
do-
the problem with passwords is not the password. Like
It's
not
the idiot
process.
entering them.
Exactly. It's what they're choosing as the password, right? So it's not the fact that you can't make effective passwords.
So, No Radio said, I proposed to Dave Chappelle at the bank method of spreading your cheeks. By the way, Futurama made that joke in season 1, episode 9, and that was some really bad banking.
That's funny.
I use I like the password manager and OTP 2FA type thing, at least for decent security.
Oh yeah. So any password I have that contains more than the information that's publicly available by looking at me on a Secretary of State site for registered business will contain a 12 to 24 digit password that requires my fingerprint to unlock.
Right, yeah. If you mix your passcode, you get rid of the whole text message. Like if you mix your passcode with biometrics, that'd be a lot better for you.
Yeah, I use between 16 and I do the auto-generated 16 to 20 character passwords, and then I do 2FA wherever possible.
I don't like the 2FA to email personally.
Oh God, no! 2FA to email and 2FA to text message are trash. OTP is the only way to go if you're going to do 2FA like that.
The Google Authenticator works.
Yeah, the Google Authenticator, like Authy. You can Authy. Yeah. That's another one.
I need to fingerprint unlock my Authenticator app.
I need to. My Authenticator is actually built into my password manager, but I have to fingerprint unlock it, and I have a 20 character. I have to enter a 20 character password to unlock it. And then after that, I can set up a fingerprint to unlock it. But it's also a database that's not online anywhere. Like it's a local file on my local machine.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's sitting on some cloud server somewhere.
Yeah, that's how I have mine. I have mine just PGP and encrypted. Pete knows about my encryption.
Yeah, see, No Radio brings up the point.
This is all great until
a 6-year-old has to do it.
I need more PS5s to break it, 5 more. By the way, the PS5 and whatever Microsoft is calling their current console, they're great for Beowulf clustering password cracks.
Yeah, that's true. And for Bitcoin mining.
Pete, have you ever heard of TPass?
Nope.
What about the Doge? Can you mine the Doge?
You get mine anyway.
Bro, listen
I
to me, bro.
bought-
I bought
I bought-
$5 in Doge, bro. It's down to like $3.80. So
Let's
know,
see, what
no
is my
change.
Doge worth now?
my Doge ain't worth nothing, bro.
I bought $10 for a class demo. Worst decision ever.
I know, seriously. I did the same thing at school. I was showing my students. I'm like, look how easy it is to buy Doge. And then it went down from like $5 to like $3.75 in a day.
Actually,
Doge
I
is
paid-
not an investment.
That's
No,
it's
BS,
meme.
bro.
So I paid $9 and change in Doge, and now I'm at 27.52. Now, mind you, it was so cheap when I bought it. I have a total of 85 coins.
Nice.
I have like 920 coins.
Yeah, we need goat coin.
There you go.
What would that be? Tom Brady's coin?
Yeah.
Wait,
Tom Brady and no go. Cut it out, bro.
Wait.
That's what they always say. Tom Brady's the
know.
goat.
I know. He's the goat.
Hold up. No Radio says use Symantec keys. Was that like the Norton antivirus company? I break that antivirus for a class demo.
Yeah. So Semantic is horribly unsecure.
Trash.
Take a look at KeyPass, Pete, and see what you think about, because it's open source. So I'd like to see what your thoughts are on it.
That's going to be slated for sometime next year. I have no time for deep dives like that anymore.
Oh, I don't doubt that. Just when you get a chance, take a look at it and tell me what you think about it.
Well, if you guys like computer stuff, I'm gonna put my Twitter handle down there. You can go to my Twitter.
Ew, Twitter.
Yo, how many? Let's get Zero Cool some followers and stuff on Twitter. Go ahead and.
Oh
put your
yeah,
Twitter
I got my Twitter Spaces finally working. I did tweet Twitter Spaces twice.
Oh, dude, because I remember when you were close, you were at like 590 something. I was like, all right, let's get.
They still didn't do it. They still do. They profile me, bro. They said like we don't like you. We don't like you posting all this crap on the Twitter. And,
What did you say that was so wrong?
I don't know.
See,
that's
why I left. That's why I left big social media, and I actually have my own now.
Yeah,
I actually just finished installing my own social media server yesterday.
Oh, nice.
So the only Twitter I really do is talk to a couple friends in Japan and maybe occasionally reply to something Sneed posted, but it's mainly talking to people in direct messages.
Yep. I use my Twitter to DM Sneed, and I use my Twitter to DM another person that I talk to, and that's it.
You know, I like to interact with the community, bro, but it, like, seriously, the platform in and of itself, I mean, they kind of make it unbearable, man.
They do.
You know, it's kind of a pain.
There's too much there.
Yeah.
Like, you start following 10 people and you get these promoted posts based on who you're following. Then you get just ads in the middle, and it's like...
Take a look at Mastodon. I'm not kidding you guys.
Oh, is that I heard of them.
Yeah, it's decentralized. It's completely decentralized, like email. Like, it works a lot like email and Twitter put together.
Go. Everything's cool in the beginning, bro, and then it gets super corporate, and then they start mining data, and then they start stealing data, and then they start advertising,
and then using users' computers for Bitcoin mining.
I understand. I'm just saying, like, back in the day, like when Twitter first started, it was not like this. Like, this is the evolution of social media. It always nosedives, bro.
It's not possible, though. It's completely open source. And if the community doesn't like the way it's going, they fork the source code, make a new version, and take whatever crap that the developer wanted to put in out and release it themselves.
Wait, isn't that the justification behind Ethereum and Bitcoin, both of which are consuming more electricity than all of Africa combined?
What?
Yeah, it's all the mining that people do.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, take a look at Mastodon. I literally just set up my own server yesterday, and it's run by me, and I control everything on it.
Well, that means it's, based on the direction you want to take it, but
Right.
just saying it's an open source, decentralized platform isn't really a selling point. But Mastodon, for your sake, and people who want to communicate with your social media, which you can curate who joins, I'm sure they enjoy the community.
But I can talk to anybody on any server in what they call the Fediverse. So I can comment on PeerTube videos from my account, and I can talk to anybody on any platform. So it's not just Mastodon. It's Mastodon, Pleroma, Write Freely, which is for blogging, Friendica, which is like Facebook. There's an Instagram type thing for pictures called PixelFed. There's PeerTube for videos, like live streaming and video posting, just like YouTube is. And it's all, you can interact with every service through one account. So if your friend is on Friendica,
nice. That's pretty
nice. That does sound pretty nice.
If your friend is on Friendica and you're on Mastodon, you can totally follow them. And it doesn't, and their posts just show up in your timeline. Or like if Sneed had a PeerTube, he would post a video, and I would see it come up in my feed, just like if I was to see his YouTube video come up as a post in my Twitter feed, and I could comment on his video directly from my feed. Like I could watch it directly in my client, like my web browser or my client. And then I could hit reply, just like I would on a tweet, type in a reply, and it would literally be a reply to his, like it would be a comment on his video.
I just use a BBS, man. I'm old school.
Hey, BBSs, they work great on those 3G connections, man. Let me tell you.
Exactly.
Heck yeah. People do Mastodon from the command line. Like there's actually command line apps for it.
Dude, hold up, Dave. I'll send you a link here. You can go and get your own account, bro.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
By the way, for those of you that have
in
not
the
subscribed to my second channel is Sneed Clips. Go ahead and subscribe there. I do all types of
I
random
did not
videos.
watch that arm flex thing yet, but
dude, I did an arm workout video, dude. I'm gonna do a leg workout video probably in the next day or two.
Did you like my reply to your NBA predictions thing, saying screw the Nets and this Bitcoin guy?
Yeah, I did see that. He's like, isn't that the Bitcoin guy? Oh man, yeah, Pete.
Right.
When you don't comment on videos, I kind of get pissed because I kind of look forward to it a little bit. I'm like waiting for the Fire Mobile or whatever whenever it's a Dish video.
I would comment more on Sneed's videos, except to do it, I have to have my YouTube account, and it's only on one computer, so I have to bring up that computer to do it. And I don't like using anything Google at all if I can help it. So I don't comment very often, except for on DMs.
Dude, I haven't had a 5G illness related comment in probably 3 months, and then today I got like 7. So.
Man, I wasn't looking at that video. I typically remove them.
Yep. Yeah. So
man, people are crazy for thinking 5G causes illness. That's
nuts, bro. What are you gonna do?
So, for people who think 5G causes illness, for the year prior to the pandemic starting, I spent 5 days a week in a 5G lab.
How'd that go, Pete? I'm
the healthiest I've ever been in my life.
Pete, how about this?
Okay.
You know what I did after I got my vaccine? I started doing wind sprints, bro. I was an Avenger. It was like a super serum. I was basically Captain America after I got my shot, and I started getting better 5G reception. So.
There you go. Anything below 300 gigahertz is non-ionizing radiation. That means it does not carry enough electromagnetic power to break bonds.
However, at 300 gigahertz, it needs a certain wattage for it to travel far enough to impact you.
That's true, and of course the inverse square law. That inverse square law is serious.
Oh yeah, dude. If I stand next to your cell phone because I got the vaccine, I can help you get a better RSRP on your signal.
How do I mute Sneed for blasphemy?
I agree. How do you kick him out of his own stream?
That would be embarrassing.
By the way, Brian, you do not rely on cell phone radiation for that.
What was the comment?
No, don't worry about it, bro.
It's going to be in chat.
All right, I see.
Oh my goodness. I do have some. I have some 5G Plus testing from AT&T. They got some millimeter wave turned on in the CLE, so that's some up and coming content. There's more N41, so T-Mobile's building out pretty fast. All three companies are doing pretty big things here for capacity upgrades. I don't know how things are where you guys are, but they're doing a lot over here.
T-Mobile is doing significantly more from what I've noticed, and that's all because of what Phil Weiser, the Attorney General here, made them promise.
Build out fast.
Give 5G to the people.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything here, and I hate it.
Wait,
T-Mobile's N41 is creeping around.
They're not doing nothing here, and I hate it.
Who's upgrading
nothing.
over there? Who's upgrading?
AT&T.
Nice.
Like I'm seeing more and more T-Mobile 41 on Cell Mapper, so it's not quite in my area yet, but there's a lot of it, especially in the downtown area.
I honestly, man, like here, T-Mobile's only got 18% market share. I'd like to see that change, man. They're doing all this upgrading.
Hey,
it's got
they can handle more in your market.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. For Verizon to have 52% market share makes no sense, dude. That's just too much.
All three of them are, to my knowledge, satisfactory or better.
T-Mobile's got the most capacity. It's not even close.
So they should be, within 5% of 33, each of them.
Yeah, I just think the problem is I don't know, man. This has been a Verizon town for a long time. It's going to take some effort, man. Their marketing is going to have to be very geared towards,
Not only will it have to take some effort, but you would need to have a slight demographic change, because the people I know who are older and longer in life, who have been on AT&T since 2G,
yeah,
even if AT&T gives them an extra $400 bill on their charge on their bill, they're Bible thumping AT&T lovers.
That's racist.
I told AT&T in 2015 to take their phone, their number, and their service and shove it where the sun don't shine. I've never looked back.
Everybody's got that story with AT&T, man.
I told him that in 2004, and
God.
then in 2008,
I know what this is about.
I told Verizon I'll see him on Highway 61.
Yo, he's still mad about the night and weekend minutes, bro, from Singular
Freaking
days.
night and weekends. No, Singular was good. It's like AT&T bought them up, and my night and weekends went away.
As I said, they wanted to charge us for one of those femtocells to fix their supposedly great network in our area. I'm like, your network's hot garbage that I was going to say a different word for, but decided not to.
When my partner moved out to this city, she had AT&T. She had to leave the city limits to get something that didn't say no service. Also, her phone was unlocked and they didn't have Wi-Fi calling for her.
Now that's another thing about AT&T is their stance towards unlocked devices. No, absolutely not.
Oh, David, I'll do the leg video sometime this week for sure. I'll flex the quads, bro.
I walked into the T-Mobile store with my Pixel 1. Told him I need a smaller SIM. Got it from the Google store. The guy's like, "Woo, a pixel on our network. Let me get you a SIM."
Mm-hmm.
And I had full network functionality.
You had everything: the voice over LTE, the HD calling, the Wi-Fi calling,
except for T-Mobile Video, which I didn't install.
T-Mobile Video.
It's a legacy app.
Yeah.
It's now YouTube TV, so who cares?
But
Well,
I
can't
like
blame him,
T-Mobile's
bro.
stance towards unlocked devices.
Yeah, you're paying us for service. Use the device.
Use
Bro,
whatever device you dang well please.
AT&T is the only company that was ruining that, because even Verizon gave everything. Like, it would clear your IMEI, and then you would have HD calling, you would have Wi-Fi calling, you would have VoLTE. They wouldn't restrict anything. It was only AT&T. Because
It is
T-Mobile
only
gave you
AT&T.
everything
They're
too.
still doing it.
It's ridiculous. And even if you have an unlocked Galaxy and you change the firmware to T-Mobile firmware, or you change the firmware to AT&T firmware, it'll still give you a hard time. You still won't be able to use everything.
No voice over LTE. You better be
Bro,
happy with them 3G calls.
You know how crappy HSPA is in 2021, dog? There's no spectrum left on there, dog.
Actually, I got 5 megs a second in T-Mobile in one location. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
How is that not
it's
shut
bad.
down yet? When's that shut down, dog?
It's February of 2022.
Tower was in maintenance mode.
Oh, nice. Yeah, all the networks will be shut down at the end of 2022.
But it was HSPA Plus, so when I was on the phone, I could solo Google.
Barely.
I say that they should shut down HSPA and HSPA stuff and transfer that to LTE or 5G.
5G.
But, 5G and leave Edge for IoT devices.
Oh.
Dude,
because those take so little data and it takes so little bandwidth.
The GSM Edge will be around till 2023, so that's when they'll be shut down.
Caleb, that stuff you did for me for a DoD project, that Edge was nice.
Oh yeah, good.
I mean, what Edge? You can tune it down to like a megahertz or a half a megahertz, something like that.
It's 1.25.
Which is nice for 300K JSON file.
Right.
Like that's a good service for like you're swiping your credit card at the little snack machine or whatever to get your Coke or whatever. That's fine for that.
It's just a transaction. I mean, literally the connection, even on the slowest connection, only lasts for 5 seconds.
It does. It's very, very, very quick.
And we're doing ours over the bakery network, and I think the actual transaction time is like 2 seconds. The input of the information takes longer. Takes 5 seconds.
Oh God, yeah.
But yeah, Edge is good for non-media rich data transfer. So
do your SSH connections over Edge.
There you go.
Zero cool. I wanted to ask you: Are you game for a Twitter Space tonight, or are you going to be busy?
I can do Twitter Space.
All right. Do you want to launch one, or do you want me to launch it and you hop on mine?
You can launch it. It's cool.
I'm going to bed after this.
That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and close out the live stream. We're going to move over to Twitter for Twitter Spaces.
Hold up. I'm going to say one thing before closing out the live stream. There is one way if you want to get more SMT goodness and us bickering about the superiority of Edge over HSPA, and that is send some super chats.
That's right.
Yeah, if you guys want to make myself and Pete happy men, go ahead and send a super chat real quick so we can read it really fast.
And if it's a good enough question, you might get some more time for other super chat questions.
Yeah, sometimes we get the rapid fire going at the end of these things.
Or go purchase smtnation.com and transfer it to Sneed, so he can put up his own domain.
Wait. That isn't bought yet?
Nope. It might be now, but
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He wants smt.nation.
yeah, let's see.
Either of them are owned.
Let me go to. I don't know about smt.nation. Let me check my registrar real quick.
I know space came up, and I've actually found some interesting usage for space domains.
Hey,
Space
Pete,
domains.
could you read Chaim's super chat?
I see that's Chaim?
Chaim, right?
Shame Fry.
Yeah, he said the name was Chaim. He
Isn't that
said
how you
Chaim
pronounce it?
Fry. I have no idea.
Okay,
Chaim.
go ahead. Do your thing, bro.
Your $5 says your ultra wideband video was yesterday. $3. Yeah, and I posted a question about that. What happens when you close the receiving bay door?
Do you want to
He
know
gets
the real
BRS.
answer? Do you want to know the real answer, or do you want the joking answer?
Both.
Okay, the joking answer is the bread gets overcooked, and the real answer is I start picking up CBRS.
So
But I start picking it up.
the real problem with the bakery is I cannot find the website to order myself pitas and hummus.
Dude, how are you going to order it when nobody will DoorDash over 20 states?
Dude, I'm not saying DoorDash. I'm saying a real distribution network because that stuff's the bomb.
I'll just ship it out to you, bro. I'll ship some tomorrow.
My registrar says that I can't get .nation domains, but smtnation.com is available.
How much?
12
How long's that a license for?
a year.
What's your PayPal?
Let me get it.
Let me know the cost, Nate. I'll pay it. No radio with a $5 super chat. You guys keep up the good work. You give me a place for my nerd fill where I can't get it from other people around me. No radio. I'm sure other people will be around for nerding.
Oh,
but
and by
they
the
are
way,
hard to find.
let's we're gonna for no radio, we're gonna hashtag team no coax, bro. We're all fiber over here, dog.
Hey, I use coax for my antenna.
Yeah, that's about it.
I use coax for my 10-meter ham radio antenna.
Yeah, but if you had your option between coax and fiber.
Helix cable and then fiber.
I'm using like RG8X, I think.
Dude, switch to Helix. Andrew's Helix. It's lossless.
That's right,
For frequencies under VHF though, you really don't need to care about the losses. It's when you start getting up into the 600-700 megahertz range and above that you start to really get losses on coax.
Right. Yeah.
And
True.
Once you get up to microwave frequencies, it's best to use what's that stuff called? I can't even remember what the name of the stuff is. But it's the stuff they use for like satellite stuff.
Oh, the big old thick cable.
Yeah, it's this real thick cable with like metal inside of it.
Yeah,
it's a waveguide, like a waveguide type thing.
Waveguide. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's accurate.
I think with that we can call it a night. By the way.
All right, let's do it. We're gonna head over to Twitter for the Twitter space. So go ahead and follow me on Twitter at SneedTech. I think Zero Cool will be over there. Dave might make an appearance. Pete, if you're in, just want to hang out and listen, and you don't have to join the discourse necessarily, but stop by. We'll be over there.
Dave, we got that smtnation.com going.
Working on it right now.
Yeah, man. I'll send you the PayPal, Dave. I got you, bro.
All right. Yep, I'm getting it right now.
All right.
Too late.
Yeah,
Sneed, too late.
Too late.
Too
You
late.
already beat me to it. All right, y'all. We out this piece. We'll be there on the Twitter space at SneedTech. Peace.
Peace.